Maybe it's your spouse rolling their eyes at your dirty dishes. Maybe it's your boss who just smiled and nodded while you pitched that brilliant idea. Or maybe it's your teenage kid who's embarrassed to be seen with you at the grocery store. Here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. We are all someone's idiot all the time. The forms of stupidity are infinite. And the biggest fool in your life isn't your annoying coworker or that politician you hate. It's the person staring back at you in the bathroom mirror every morning. You think you've got it figured out. You think you're reasonable, smart, making good choices, but somewhere someone is shaking their head at your existence, wondering how you function in society. And the worst part? They're probably right about some of it. The question isn't whether you're an idiot. The question is, are you going to do something about it? You wake up every day convinced you're the main character in your own movie. Everyone else is just supporting cast, and obviously you're the reasonable one. Your decisions make sense, your perspective is logical. Everyone else is just missing something. But here's what's actually happening. You're performing stupidity in real time and calling it intelligence. You argue with your partner about loading the dishwasher the right way, while your relationship slowly dies from 1,000 tiny battles. You complain about your job to anyone who'll listen, but haven't updated your resume in 3 years. You give advice to friends about problems you haven't solved in your own life. The most dangerous part isn't that you're someone's idiot. It's that you're completely blind to it. You've built this elaborate story about why your way is the right way, why your struggles are justified, why everyone else just doesn't understand your situation. Meanwhile, the people closest to you, the ones who see you without the filter, they're watching you repeat the same patterns, make the same mistakes, and justify the same failures over and over again. They love you, so they don't say it directly. But they're thinking it. How does someone this smart act so stupid? You can't see it because you're too busy being it. Let me guess, you're getting defensive right now. You're thinking, this doesn't apply to me, I'm self-aware, I know my flaws. Stop lying to yourself. Your husband thinks you're an idiot for spending 3 hours researching the perfect vacuum cleaner instead of just buying one. Your kids think you're an idiot for still trying to be their friend instead of their parent. Your co-workers think you're an idiot for staying late every night, trying to prove something to people who already decided you're replaceable. And you know what? You think they're idiots too, for not appreciating your thoroughness, for not understanding your good intentions, for not seeing how hard you're trying. This is the dance we all do. Everyone's the idiot in someone else's story, and everyone else is the idiot in ours. It's like a stupidity circle where everyone's pointing fingers and nobody's taking responsibility. But here's where it gets personal. The biggest idiot in your life lives in your house. It's you. You're the one making excuses for why nothing changes. You're the one choosing comfort over growth. You're the one pretending that awareness without action counts as progress. Your family doesn't need to say it out loud. They see you repeating the same patterns, having the same arguments, making the same promises to change that you made last year. You're the idiot they have to love anyway. Now you're probably thinking, but wait, I'm working on myself. I read books. I listened to podcasts. I'm growing. Congratulations. You're a well-educated idiot. Reading about emotional intelligence while screaming at traffic doesn't make you emotionally intelligent. Listening to productivity podcasts while procrastinating on important decisions doesn't make you productive. Following inspirational accounts while avoiding difficult conversations doesn't make you brave. You've confused consumption with transformation. You think knowledge equals change. You've turned self-improvement into another form of procrastination, a sophisticated way to avoid actually doing the hard work. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Intelligence isn't about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know. And most of us do absolutely nothing with what we know. We know we should exercise, but we don't. We know we should save money, but we don't. We know we should have difficult conversations, but we don't. We know we should stop making excuses, but we don't. The gap between knowing and doing is where our idiocy lives. It's where we become the fool in our own story. It's where our family members watch us talk a big game about change while changing absolutely nothing. You want to know the difference between smart people and idiots? Smart people close the gap. Idiots widen it and call it being realistic or taking time to process or whatever other excuse helps them sleep at night. So what do you do with this uncomfortable truth? Start being someone's genius instead of everyone's idiot. Here's your brutal action plan. Pick one area where your family thinks you're an idiot and prove them wrong. Is it your inability to stick to commitments? Make one small promise and keep it for 30 days. Not a huge life change, something stupid, simple, like making the bed every morning or putting your phone away during dinner. Is it your tendency to overreact? The next time you feel that familiar rage building, count to 10 and ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Then act like someone with actual emotional control. Is it your endless procrastination? Pick the one thing you've been avoiding for months and do it tomorrow, not next week, tomorrow. Set a timer for 2 hours and just start. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is proof. Proof that you can close the gap between knowing and doing. Proof that you're capable of change beyond just talking about it. If this already hit you where it hurts, comment "This one stung" below. I read everything. And if you want this kind of reality check regularly, hit that subscribe button. This isn't motivation. This is accountability. Your family is tired of waiting for you to become the person you keep promising to be. Stop giving them reasons to think you're hopeless. But here comes your brain with the excuses. It's not that simple. You don't understand my situation. My family doesn't appreciate what I do. They're the problem, not me. This is exactly why you're someone's idiot right now. You're doing it again, deflecting responsibility and making yourself the victim. This is your signature move. When confronted with truth, you don't get curious, you get defensive. You don't ask, "How can I change?" You ask, "Why should I have to?" Your resistance to change is so predictable that your family probably has a betting pool on how long your next transformation will last. They've seen this movie before. You get inspired, make declarations, start strong for a week, then gradually slide back into old patterns while explaining why this time was different. They're not being unsupportive. They're being realistic. Based on your track record, why should they believe you this time? The hardest part about not being someone's idiot anymore is that you have to stop acting like one, even when no one's watching. Especially when no one's watching. You have to change when it's inconvenient, when you don't feel like it, when there's no applause coming. Your family doesn't need another speech about who you're going to become. They need evidence of who you actually are when you think nobody's paying attention. They need you to be different, not just talk different. The resistance you're feeling right now, that's your idiocy fighting for its life. Here's what nobody tells you about being someone's idiot. It's not actually about intelligence, it's about integrity. When your wife thinks you're an idiot for leaving dishes in the sink, she's not questioning your IQ. She's questioning whether you care enough about her mental load to rinse a plate. When your kids think you're an idiot for checking your phone during their stories, they're not doubting your technical skills. They're doubting whether they matter enough for your full attention. Most of the time, when people think we're idiots, they're really saying, "Your actions don't match your words and it's exhausting to pretend they do." You say, family is your priority, but you work late every night. You say health is important, but you eat garbage and skip workouts. You say you want to be better, but you resist feedback and avoid difficult changes. The gap between your declared values and your actual behavior is where your idiocy lives. And the people closest to you, they see that gap every single day. They have to live in it. Being someone's genius isn't about being perfect or brilliant. It's about being reliable. It's about your actions consistently supporting your stated priorities. It's about being the same person in private that you claim to be in public. Your family doesn't need you to be smarter. They need you to be trustworthy. They need to know that when you say something matters to you, your choices will reflect that. They need to know that when you commit to change, you'll actually change. The beautiful thing about closing this gap is that it transforms everything. When your actions align with your values, you stop being someone's idiot and start being someone's rock. Someone they can count on. Someone whose word actually means something. The forms of idiocy are infinite, but so are the forms of integrity. The question is, which one are you going to practice today? So here we are, you've heard the truth. You know the gap exists. You recognize the pattern. Now what? You have two choices, and both will define who you become. Choice 1, close this video, feel temporarily uncomfortable, maybe share it with someone else who really needs to hear this, and then go back to being exactly who you were before you clicked play. Keep being the idiot in your own house. Keep giving your family reasons to doubt your word. Keep living in the gap between who you say you are and who you actually show up as. Choice 2, pick one small thing today and prove to yourself that change is possible. Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Something so simple that your brain can't make excuses. something that moves you 1 millimeter closer to being someone your family can count on instead of someone they have to manage. The brutal reality is that most people will choose option 1. They'll nod along, maybe comment something inspiring, and then continue being the disappointment they've always been. But you're still here, which means something in you wants option 2. Your family has been patient with your bullshit longer than they should have been. They've believed your promises to change more times than was reasonable. They've loved you through being their daily idiot. But that doesn't mean they have to keep doing it forever. The clock is ticking. Not on some dramatic deadline, but on their willingness to keep hoping you'll become who you keep saying you want to be. Stop giving the people who love you most reasons to think you're hopeless. Now comment below. What's the one small change you're making today to stop being someone's idiot? And don't just comment to look good. Comment because you're actually going to do it. Getting to the end of this video was the easy part. What you do in the next hour is where your real character shows up.